the first crowned heir began her journey of seeking the pearl. But she was deceived, and the memory of her noble origins faded. She now believed that she was the queen of the Kingdom of Darkness.
But take heart. A second crowned heir has already taken up the path where the first had stumbled. This is the story of your journey, of your tale to be told.
Once a medium for the storage and transfer of wisdom in ancient times, now wisdom is found in ancient text and in profound speech. Nevertheless, this crown of insight must still be able to impart some transcendent power and wisdom to its bearer. Fables and legends are subject to misinformation, misunderstanding, bias, and hyperbole, and this hasn't been any more clear than in the most recent Archon quest in 1.4, where we visit the Church of Avernus and speak with Barbara. She begins talking about fire raining down from the sky outside Old Mondstadt, and how it was the tyrant's final fury. The tyrant she refers to is the Caribbean, the god of storms, who was overthrown through rebellion, aided by Barbatos before becoming the Anemo Archon. However, this tyrant never had the ability to produce fire in this way. It is later revealed to us that the raining fire was rockets from the first field tiler from the ancient kingdom of Khaenri'ah. This is a perfect example of how these legends, folktales and texts are subject to inaccuracies. The books from Teyvat appear to both confirm and contradict each other. This is because this is the nature of texts written by a man. Which brings me to the Gnostic Chorus. Many have speculated who the first and second heir could be, some going as far to say the Gnostic Chorus is simply a lie. But Occam's razor suggests the identity of the heirs is simply the travellers. This is evident through the final line. This is the story of your journey, your tale to be told. Going forward, I will refer to the siblings as our protagonist, the twin you choose to play, and the lost twin, their sibling. The lost twin is the first heir and the protagonist is the second. The story is also told through the form of a fable or song. The details appear to be metaphorical, so let's theorise what the Genesis Pearl actually represents. The pearl is figurative and not a physical object in the world. Genesis means the origin, or the means of creation. My original thought was the possibility that the two twins were looking for their origin, their home. When the twins finally reunite, they speak of returning home. Earlier in the story, Venti says, "Look me in the eyes, do you not find me trustworthy?" To which the protagonist has the option to reply with, "The colour of your eyes is like the sky in my hometown." This tells us that the twins do have a home, and for reasons unknown they've travelled away from it. Maybe they're just lost and have been trying to find their way back, or maybe it's gone and they've been seeking a new one. However, after some thought, I think the pearl represents something else. A pearl symbolises hidden knowledge, and they are often compared to the moon due to their colour, shape and association with the sea. Why the sea though? In my last video, I spoke about how in biblical cosmology there is a concept known as the firmament, where the heavens consist of the upper sea. This is where you can draw this comparison. Step forth if you have understood the meaning of your journey, are the lines Dainsleif says near the end of the Travail trailer, and at the end of the Archon quest, the Lost Twin says, "I have already travelled through the world once. Once you reach the end of your journey, as I did, you will see for yourself the true nature of this world." This also ties in with Albedo and the task put forward to him by his master, Reindotir, in which he left him a note saying, "Your final assignment, show me the truth and the meaning of this world." The hidden knowledge, the meaning of the journey and the origins of the world is what I believe the Genesis Pearl represents. Furthermore, pearls are found at the seabed, and in the concept of the firmament, this I presume would be the depths of the Taham, or in our case, the depths of the abyss. The first crown heir was tasked with seeking the Genesis Pearl from the Kingdom of Darkness. Now the Kingdom of Darkness could be the abyss, as it seems to be the most obvious answer, but it could also be Teyvat itself. But to bring this back to an earlier point about their homeland, the Lost Twin has an interaction with the Abyss Order where they say, "When your homeland returns to this world, we shall revel in its glory." This is oddly suspicious when you read the description of the waypoints. Odd devices that are scattered across Teyvat, seemingly forming a certain order. People of the continent see them as ancient gimmicks. They are accustomed to their existence, despite not knowing their purpose. To the foreign traveller, however, their function becomes quite apparent. There is also striking similarities between the clothing of the travellers when compared to the symbolism and style of those from Khaenri'ah, an ancient kingdom that history and lineage stretches way back. But I'm not sure if this means that the travellers have a stronger tie to the world than we think. The way the pearl is presented is in its shell. As the first heir approaches, a snake appears, turning it black. This is reminiscent of the serpent from Adam and Eve, where it convinces Eve to eat the fruit from the forbidden tree in the Garden of Eden. Fruit itself was not forbidden, just a fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and that by eating from it, you will become like God, knowing both good and evil. However, there are alternate readings to the story in Gnosticism, but this is a subject we will tackle in depth another time. She was deceived, and the memory of her noble origins faded. She now believes she was the queen of the kingdom of darkness. This coincides with the darkening of the pearl, which seems to symbolize it becoming corrupt, leading to the first heir's misunderstanding of its meaning, as the pearl is no longer clear. If the lost twin believes the world had ties to their homeland, it could well be a result of the deception created by the abyss. And this is not far-fetched, as there was another situation where an individual ventured down into the abyss to switch his allegiance upon reaching its depths. In 1,000 years' time, my greatest foe will descend. He wields a sword that heralds the dawn and wears armour that can reflect the sunlight. He shall destroy my kingdom and bring the prince back to life, and the princess then will be free from her eternal torment. Until then, I fear not a single soul in the land of night, for nothing will bring an end to my kingdom, except for the catastrophe foretold by the prophecy. As for you, the treacherous slave that poisoned his master, fate shall see that you get what you deserve. This is a quote from The Pale Princess and the Six Pygmies. They are the words of a character known as the Night Mother, an evil queen who resides in the darkness, as she speaks to a guilt-ridden pygmy after poisoning the prince, who was guiding the princess to light. I will cover this story in more depth in future videos, as it ties into many other subjects I wish to cover. At face value, it seems to be talking about the cataclysm 500 years ago, which resulted in the fall of Khaenri'ah. As for the herald wearing armour that reflects the shining sunlight, there is a character from this period that aligns to some extent. Arundolian, the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius at the time, went on an expedition to fight the monsters spewing from the devastation caused by the cataclysm. Alongside him was his close friend and rival, a knight known as Rotstam, who is referred to in the Defender's Will artifact sets. He fell in battle and the Grand Master gave up his title through grief. This caused the knights to falter, forcing Venti to intervene against Durin's attacks on Mondstadt. By this creed he taught his swordsmanship to knights under his friend's command. By this credo he also mentored a white knight who loved justice above all else. In his name he nipped many seedlings that might have blossomed into evil in the bud. He was called the White Knight due to the sheen of his armour. This knight gained an obsession for justice, purging all evil that stood in his way. He ventured deeper and deeper into the abyss, killing so much that his white armour eventually became stained with their blood. It is said that he died in the depths, but he discovered the origins of the monsters that destroyed the ancient kingdom. The ancient kingdom was wrongfully cursed, turning its inhabitants into monsters. The code of chivalry tolerates no such injustice. If abyss be thy name, I pledge to you my loyalty. Although his appearance and the catastrophe all align with the prophecy, the outcome of his story does not. He did not bring an end to the kingdom of darkness. Instead, he swore his loyalty to it, very much like the lost twin. This is not to say they are the same person. There isn't enough to make such a claim, but the outcome of their journey shares similarities. So what is this prophecy she speaks of? The only prophecy that I know of is that of the self-proclaimed prophet. In this prophecy, points to future events after the original calamity has been overturned, and states, Chalk pursues gold in this time inopportune. Chalk most likely refers to Albedo, as he is known as the Khaenri'ah Prince, which in German means Prince of Chalk. As for gold, we know that gold is the nickname they give to the alchemist that gave birth to the shadowy monsters during the cataclysm. I don't think the prophecy means gold the person, I think it actually means the art of chemia, the name of the alchemy practiced by him. And the same type of alchemy Albedo pursues. And let's not forget the moment in the Dragonspine arc where he says, if one day I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, destroy everything, can I rely on you to stop me? Albedo knows the dangers of the alchemy he pursues in search for the knowledge that he seeks, and is foreshadowing another catastrophe, which lines up with the Night Mother's words. The difference this time is our protagonist might be there to stop him. The knight that may bring an end to the Kingdom of Darkness in the story may well be the second heir from the Gnostic Chorus, our protagonist. The Herald of the Dawn, one that calls upon change, a sign for something new. But for now, we'll end here. There is still much more to address when it comes to the Gnostic Chorus, and we'll explore that next time. Until then, please share your thoughts and theories.